So hello there! And finally we have come to the last guide. Oh, it's that damn sentinel. I'm just going to very quickly grab him because he's a pain in the ass. There we go. Sorry. That sentinel likes to glitch through there, as you just saw. So this is the last demonstration of skill rotations at level 40. This is your crowd control rotations. So that's why I'm in here. This is a lot. There's lots of enemies close to each other, and you can show all the skill rotations here. I've got two main bit cells. There's a group there that are good, and a group over here. So if you saw in my single target rotations for level 40, these skills here that I've got keyed to my F8 to F12 keys are mainly what you're going to be using, at least in the very first rotation of crowd control, because the main difference between crowd control and single target control is there's a lot more. You'll be using different skills every now and then. So you'll start with one set, then you'll go into another set while you wait for the first set, parts of the first set to cool down and things like that. So it's not really a nice way of doing it. You will be switching between using this set and then having to come down here and using keys from here. It's a little awkward, but at the minute I can't see any way of it not becoming awkward. Simply because there's only so many keys, and I mean, we're running out of space down here for the single target rotation as it is. Never mind when you add in these guys. So I've already got my Pledge of Duty buff on. That was partly just because I don't normally run this dungeon solo. I'm not very good at running this dungeon solo, so I've just got that on so I don't die while I'm doing this. So the main thing that is different, there's two main things that are different about your target rotation. Here is Rampant Charge. Now Rampant Charge, in my video skill cell rotation I said the difference is this can be quite bitty, and I wasn't entirely true on that since you learn both of your additional skills, Rampant Charge and Swift Justice, at level 35. The difference is, Swift Justice you will learn naturally at level 25, so 35, ignore me, 35 at both of them. So at level 35 you will learn Swift Justice and it'll be available for you to then add. Rampant Charge, when you hit level 35, won't be immediately ready. You'll have to go to your talent, and you will gain it through your talent. So it'll be through your last talent here. So either Battle Standard, Defender of the Battlefield, or Oath of Valor. And through equipping one of them, you will gain, as you can see there, Rampant Charge, which is a very powerful charging attack. And some of these you see once afterwards. What? Oh, okay. Sorry. The reason I stopped there is because I didn't realise Noble Onslaught you obtain through talents as well. Okay. So, quick note on Noble Onslaught down here for your single target. Well, it does count because you can use, and on occasion you may want to use Noble Onslaught in a chaos crowd control situation. So it's not entirely, then you learn Noble Onslaught through either Warrior's Oath, Warrior Aegis, I don't know how to pronounce that, or Banner of Justice. So you need to have learnt one of these skills. You don't need to learn all of them. You learn one of these skills and then they are usable. You have to equip them. So once you've equipped the skills, so here I have Defender of the Battlefield, which gives me Rampant Charge, and skills have other effects which I'm going to go into in my guide in written detail, as well as their synergy effects, as you can see. So once you've got those, then you will gain the skills and you'll be ready to go. So, and the other so that's why it's kind of bitty, because if you're like me and you didn't really pay any attention to the talents as you got them, you may be a bit confused, because the kind of issue with the talents, since we're building up our levels, is that the talent slots only get unlocked every 5 levels, as you can see there. And I mean, I think I messed up a little bit. I mean, this is, for the way I play, this is the best way for my talents to be, but I may have to reset them when that slot comes up and I want to chain more of Aegis, or I want to chain more of this. Because I think Aegis is what I'm chaining so I can get great constitution, so I have stupid amounts of health. So that's kind of why I ignored it at first. I was going to wait till the end, but that's not really possible. Well, like, it's kind of possible, but you won't get access to all your skills, so it's in most situations you've not done that, so I'm assuming you are using your talents and you're making use of that. I mean, it's not too difficult to get talent power, just go tame a bunch of Scannerers and you'll bring that up fairly quickly. So I'm going to ignore Rampant Charge for the time being. There's a very specific situation I can show you Rampant Charge in, so let's go and show how much of a help Swift does. So, right, so that didn't help. And I'm going to show you. There you go. I think I put my level up too high for this. Oh well. But yeah, you could kind of see there in a good situation. I'm going to sit so I can drink some health. That's the wrong button. There we go. So as you can see there, Swift Justice is a much better way of AoEing than using any of your other skills. And also that was really good because I got to show you Noble Onslaught as well. And as you can see, Noble Onslaught is also really good in crowd control and AoE situation. Now, I did mess up there because I forget the Sentinels like to do an arrow attack, which if they hit you while you're doing Swift Justice, it breaks it, and so you can't finish the combo. So that didn't help, and that was my own silly fault. But yeah, so that's basically why your AoE skills suddenly go from fumbling around trying to get shield smites up and checking and hoping to God that Haken's Grasp is regen so you can start Sentinel smashing again. It's what takes it from fumbling around to actually having a bit more structure, going, okay, you've got the Swift Justice, which has a nice cooldown. I think it looks about 30 seconds cooldown, which is a while, yes, but it has its benefits. Right, do I have any food that I can actually eat? No, I have soup. I have lots of soup. Okay, well, I'm going to get some help from my Commander Rondo, because otherwise I might die trying to do this second bit, so I might only get to show you this one. So, as you can see here, we have a Crosskeep Sentinel, and I'm going to show you how you can start if you want to start from a distance, and also it gets you a ton more damage. So as you can see, Rampant Charge has a lot of damage on it. So this is how you can effectively use that as part of your combo. So there you go, that was a much better form of rotation that you saw there with some help from my Commander Rondo. He's a very good boy. So that really, as you saw, that took a lot, that was a lot shorter than when I was doing it outside with the 3 outside, because of that massive damage it does. And as you saw, it does do some knockback. Now I'm going to double check to make sure that's not an effect of my talent, so it would be this one. Damages nearby enemies and decreases magic defense. So that's what you get for doing Defender of the Battlefield. So you can get a cooldown reduction through Battle Standard. And through the Stalwart one, you can get damages and pushback and activate a Royal Authority. So it looks like you may not get the knockback so much. Although it does do destabilize if you're equipping Battle Standard instead of either Defender of the Battlefield or Oath of Valor. I cannot confirm that because I don't use the Oath of Standard. I'm not using any of the combat section because I'm not looking at crit, I'm looking at health and damage, consistent damage. But for me, and if you're using any of those 2 talents to trigger it, then chains in well to Hakon's Grasp because you charge forward for the attack and then you bring them all back to then continue training on. Obviously, you do have a specific situation in here where that Sentinel likes to trigger the ice arrow, which is why you saw me putting up the safeguard when I saw it being cast. So if you are doing that technique in here, it's sometimes nice to make sure you're targeted, because well, it's not so much an issue, it's just the way the targeting works, is that you'll still be targeted you'll still have a main target that the game will consider, and then it's just the damage does work on the people. So if you're doing that, then it's best to sort of make sure you're targeted on that Sentinel so you can see that arrow being summoned without having to rely on the cue of him actually drawing it, which sometimes can be difficult to seeing amongst all the pretty slashing stuff. So yeah, so there you saw. There's also quite a good demonstration, because obviously I've been fighting fairly consistent enemies, how safeguard, and I don't think you might have saw it outside when I was using Endless Repose as well. I don't think the knockdown from there really triggers it. But yeah, how these really help. How these, you have to be aware of these, and don't be afraid to have to break combos to use safeguard. I mean, if you're having to use Endless Repose, then you've had your combo broken anyway. But for safeguard in particular, if you think you're going to need it, use it. Don't be worried about breaking your combo. If you think you're needing it. And plus, when you get Absorbing Shield, which you do by level 25, so that then never mind all the way over here, you'll get some mana back. So it's nice. It's a very nice little skill. So yeah, I might try, since my health has come up a little bit. I should have probably been sitting down for that. Never mind. Since my health come up a little bit, let's see if I can do one more. So I'll wait till this Sentinel gets here, and I will try and do the full set. So let's click on that Sentinel. Nope. Also, the camera's a bit squiffy. I can't camera through it, so you get a lovely side. There we go. So we'll wait till he's with his buddies, and we'll try this one more time. Wait, we'll okay, we'll try that again when this regen. Come on, regen. Oh, he's gonna go back, isn't he? Oh, he's out of range. There. I'm sorry. I even looked to make sure I had my finger on the right section. Whoopsie. Could just try on these two, I guess. I'll do it on this guy because it should trigger the other Frost Cube. I might get that. Well, I can probably get the Sentinel. There we go. Right, we'll do this group. This is going to be quicker. Right, I've definitely got my finger on F8 this time. Come on, get a bit closer. There we go, that was a slightly more smoother version of it. So yeah, you can see how the combos tend to go. So you're going to be using what I call your first hit cycle, so that's going to be Rampant Charge, Hakon's Grasp, Bonds of Law, Sentinel Smash, and Swift Justice. Your first rotation, preferably without having to Endless Repose like I did there in that situation. But again, that shows just how useful that is. And then once you've done that, you'll go back into Hakon's Grasp, Bonds of Law, Sentinel Smash, and then you'll be coming down here. So depending on how much cooldown you've got on your Hakon's Grasp, you may need to use the Shield, go from Shield Smash to Rising Truth before this is ready again. I mean, if you can, try and just do Shield Smash and Prevailing Blow, and if you still need some time for it to regen, Justice Slash, because that way, when you do the next rotation along, which will then be Rising Truth, Dominant Virtue, Sentencing Blow. And unfortunately, Sentencing Blow doesn't affect really more than one person, but it's still nice because at least that one person gets a ton of damage in their stomach. Because if you can make sure you don't link there, that's not on cooldown when you're doing it, so you still get that skill bonus on the Dominant Virtue. But for me, that can be a bit difficult because I'm very used to just comboing skills down here, so I'm just going to be going into autopilot. And then usually by that point, once you've had those two rotations, your Swift Justice is pretty much ready, so you can just rotate back into Swift Justice. And as you saw there, you can also, if you want to, this is somewhat up to your playstyle, when you're doing Swift Justice, then go into Noble Onslaught. Now, it probably will take since it's roughly double, so by the time you're going into your by the time you're doing Swift Justice, so you'll only probably get one Noble Onslaught off per AoE encounter. So you'll probably only get it off in the first hit when you're doing all that damage. And then you probably won't get it off again unless you're fighting lots and lots of enemies. Or they're very high level, or you're on your own, or something like that. So yes, well, a little bit more dodgy. Not dodgy, but just difficult because I put the difficulty up too much. I thought I'd be able to do Elite normal in this dungeon, but maybe not. Never mind. With the help, with a little helper, with the help of Rondo, so I don't die. That is your skill rotation at level 40 for Crowd Control. As you can see, it's a heck of a lot nicer. It just feels nicer to play as you're not kind of scrambling as much. Whereas when I was going back to level 25 when I was going, holy, how did I do this at level 25? I think the answer was I didn't crowd control at level 25. I was very much a single target back then. But yeah. It's much nicer, much easier at level 40. But actually, really, at level 35, it's much nicer. For 5 levels, you've got the vast majority of it. I mean, Noble Onslaught is definitely nice, and I would definitely highly recommend adding it in once you get to 40. But the main gist of it is there at level 35, because these both get learnt, at the same level, or you have access to them both at the same level. Whether you learn this at level 35, it's up to how you control your talents and such. So that is my final guide into how to skill rotate. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful and useful. I'm going to run away now so I don't get eaten by anything. I don't think I really should be facing Rondo in this state. I'll just stick to the Rondo I have by my side. So yeah, I hope you have a good day. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, whenever that is. Goodbye.